Recording is on.
Hello and welcome to the DXbiz weekly gathering of 14th of June 2021. We're going to start with some new member introductions if we have any. I'm going to go through, I'll go through the agenda and then we can start with that. We have a few DXbiz squad opportunities that we can talk about, DXbiz discussions. Sorry. Among them, like DXtalk that we just kind of like came up, incubator discussion, how like if and how we might want to incubate sort of crypto startups within DXDAO, and then some technical discussions. I think this is a critical one around alchemy and the latest outages and effective like lack of support. Events, talk about ECC, and yeah, we do have like product ideas for Omen as well. Yeah, I think we can start off with that. Yaman, do you want to take it away with the introductions?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Hey, everyone. Yes, we do have a few new member introductions today. I would like to first welcome Modisha. Modisha, if you're here, go ahead and introduce yourself. It would be great if you could just tell us a few things about yourself, like your area of expertise, any past work experience, and how you found out about DXDAO.
Sure. So, hi everyone, I'm Modisha. I've been working as a full stack web developer for the past 4 years. So I've been working at Pearson Education, and so for the past couple of years, I've been looking into crypto on and off. But this is the first time I've been involved in a crypto project as a developer. So I found DXD when I was looking into projects building on Ethereum L2. So why I'm here is because I want to gain more experience in crypto and possibly move into a full-time sort of a career in crypto. Yeah, so that's about me. Yeah, so I'll be working on Mesa. And I've been working on Mesa for a while now, so that's my plan so far. And I work on IST time zones if you want to reach out. Yeah, that's about me.
Awesome. Welcome. And like he was saying, he will be developing with Mesa and working with the Mesa team. We're working on his first worker proposal now, so looking forward to having him join the team and then start contributing with us.
Yeah, well, welcome, Modisha. Yeah, he's already been an active member of the team for at least a week now. He's been joining our calls and he's been active on Keybase, contributing to the team's effort. At this point, he's dedicating 20 hours a week, which is quite impressive. And yeah, we welcome any help. Thanks for joining, Modisha.
Thank you, guys, for the opportunity.
Great to have you. And we have another new member introduction today. I'd like to welcome Kyle. Kyle, if you're here, you can introduce yourself now, just like Modisha did. Just tell the community a couple things about yourself, your area of expertise, how you found out about DXDAO.
Absolutely. Hey, everyone, I'm Kyle. I'm a senior at Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. I'm majoring in marketing with a minor in creative writing. I'm also a radio DJ, videographer, editor, and podcaster at a local radio station, as well as a published poet. So if we need any poetry, I'm on that. But I've got experience in social media management and community outreach through various organizations I've been a part of. And I'm super passionate about web content curation and creation. And I'm even more excited to apply that with DXDAO. I've been following crypto for about 2 years now, and I've been keeping up with the company for the last 4 or 5 months, thanks to Keenan. And I think I'd be a great fit with the current marketing team. So you can expect my contributor proposal in the coming days. Yeah, it's nice to meet everyone.
Awesome.
Nice. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, I think we could use some poetry. We could use some art. like
Yeah,
real art in crypto.
that's
So.
what I was. That's what I was thinking. I had to. I had to, fill that hole for you guys.
Yeah. Welcome. Anyone else, Molly?
Nope, that's it for today.
Awesome. So I guess the first kind of like item on the agenda is the DXbiz opportunities. Sky, do you want to start with the work awareness strategy?
Yeah, so some are kind of recaps and updates from ongoing discussions that we've been mentioning the last handful of weeks. But with the swapper farming campaign going live, like coming soon, DXDAO, like our first campaign is really on a couple of our own pairs. And as that goes live, that will likely be followed with this, what we've been calling a showcase pair, which in this case, we've talked about using a work token pool. One of the things with that I think is important to like come up with a strategy. Well, we're going to have our own strategy for like when we announce farming, and it's like there could be lots of different announcements, but as we do it into like and include a third party community like the Workopolis community, or in the future potentially other communities, we need to figure out, we want to make sure that those communities are very aware of like the campaign, for example. So we might want to think specifically about the strategy on how to, once that campaign is live, as it follows, just making sure anyone that it could be relevant to is aware of it. With conditional token KPI tokens that Federico's been working on, we did have a follow-up call with the Chainlink team, and I guess we came away from that call with a different strategy where we likely will have like a very basic version of the platform, but we can follow that as we communicated the type of Oracle data price feeds that we would need for certain types of sample conditions. And so it's a little bit more complex, but we're seeing if the Chainlink team has the ability to like custom build those actual feeds that DXDAO needs, and they haven't done it in the past. And a lot of it revolves around settling against an average of something, and in our case, average like TVL over time. And so that's like a unique scenario. So we're still going to explore that with them, because if they can do that, it could create a really good use case and partnership between the two parties. But at the same time, we'll likely move ahead with like doing our first type of condition, maybe just with reality, like the normal kind of reality as the Oracle for the type of condition that we need. I don't know if anyone had anything to add to that.
Well, I just added that like reality is like remarkable in its like flexibility. So I think in some ways it's perfect for the MVP like to start out with. Like it would be nice to have, a partnership with Chainlink, and we were asking them for basically TVL and averages, and if they could do that, and it's not something that I don't think they've done yet. It was interesting too that they reacted kind of saying, because we're looking for like basically aggregated on-chain data, right? Like we want to know what's total value locked in a protocol, what's the average total value locked over a couple of weeks. Data that's technically on-chain, but we just want it to be reported in a more digestible, like easy to understand way. And their initial reaction was like, well, Chainlink really is more about taking off-chain data where there's a feed, like some company or organization or whatever providing this data that we basically could, like Chainlink can relay onto. So it seemed like they weren't used to thinking about like on-chain data as much, but they are working. It seems like they're trying some stuff out. So we're keeping that conversation going, and hopefully eventually it could potentially lead to a partnership.
So, and that's planned on Arbitrum?
Well, there's no hard plans with Chainlink at this point. We're just trying to see if they can even provide the data we would need, and they're looking at XDAI right now. So we're giving them swapper addresses and being like, hey, can you give us TVL for this pair?
Got it. And what about using reality as a oracle? It
That's
would
the
require
plan to use
Right.
reality. Yeah.
on Arbitrum.
Is there an issue with using it on Arbitrum? I feel like you're about to tell us that there is.
You asking Lutzi? I didn't understand.
No, you. No, I mean, I was thinking it would make sense to use it on Arbitrum. Is there any reason we couldn't use it on Arbitrum?
No. I think what we should do is reach out to the main developer and like basically get to know what his plans are for deploying a reality on our, like, I think if he has plans, then we should probably like be in sync with his deployment, because I'm not sure if we want to have our custom reality deployment. Yeah, so that's that.
Makes sense.
That's a good point.
And also, like, if Chainlink is like not able to provide what we need, maybe we should also like reach out to API 3.
Yeah, so we have had discussions with API 3 in the past, and there was a use case that they were looking into, and we actually did some like soft agreement with them, I think, to like see if we could use it in Omen, right? But I think the necessary work to link the two things together hadn't been done yet, maybe. I'm not sure. We need to recheck with them what happened post that like soft agreement.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about like who's going to deliver it as soon as possible for us, right? Like if API 3 sees it as like an opportunity to beat Chainlink, then we will like benefit and they will benefit, right? I mean, Chainlink can still provide their stuff and we will do the announcement, but having two Oracle providers on our products also like a win-win for us.
Yep. Eventually, it will be awesome to have multiple oracles like as a choice for user creations and stuff.
And also as an alternative to the question about reality, as we already have GX vote on Arbitrum, we always have the option to have DXDAO listed as something to fall back on in case reality are not ready for Arbitrum.
Exactly. Like I think if the main developer is not like keen to deploy, then we should just like go with it and deploy our own reality contracts until he's actually doing it. Right, and DSO can always be like the court system.
Cool. So yeah, so we'll follow up with those three additional or those two additional leads. The next topic is back related to as Omen is rolling out Omen Token and Omen Guild, and there was a separate proposal from the Claros team for like Gnosis backing conditional token ideas and products with additional GNO rewards. We have like a working group that had been crafting and putting together a proposal to see how we could tie any type of GNO reward into the system, the Omen reward system that is going to be coming. And our approach is really kind of speaking to the GNO holders and seeing how that group in general thinks about products like Omen that run on conditional token framework. And at this point, the proposal that we put together was like, we showed it with a small portion of the Gnosis team, and they were not that into the proposal. It seems like Gnosis in general has, at least currently, almost abandoned conditional token framework. And part of it is that they don't have any association with a product that is running on top of their framework, even though there are projects that are using their framework. But so we can either move ahead and like post something to their forum, and even without the team support, like their team support, and see and like raise the discussion and make it a like an open community discussion between all stakeholders, to see what like all GNO holders think about this. Or we can put it on hold, move ahead with Omen, using Omen token and rewards, and we could always then, if that's up and running and working, then other projects, whether it's Claros or Gnosis community or other projects, could have the ability to add rewards into the system at like a future date and time. It's probably a little easier for like the community to see it, understand it once it's live and working. But I didn't know what people thought about like the state of this conversation, and if we should move ahead, even if the Gnosis team like is not supporting their Gnosis conditional token protocol at this point in time.
Yeah, I think the chances are like lower than 1% that we are successful, primarily because the Gnosis DAO is like very badly distributed in terms of power. It's mainly like Gnosis teams doing whatever they want. So the chances are very low, but I think we should practice like public governance activities outside of the DXDAO, and that is like, I think you guys put in work, and it would be wasteful if we let it pass and like not publish it, actually try to achieve our goals. So I think we should go ahead and actually just like get it out and see what happens, even though we know it's like basically not going to happen.
So Geronimo, should we post that like in DXDAO's forum for our community first to refine it, and then to the Gnosis DAO forum after that, or just straight to the Gnosis DAO forum, you think, and let the discussion happen there?
I think actually, no, I think there should be one place where we discuss, and I think that should be like the Gnosis DAO forum.
Yeah, I agree. Like you could probably share like the Google Doc and then post it there, and like post it in the Gnosis forums.
Yeah, and also sync up with our like marketing team just to make sure that we signal that we
Is there any, like, just to kind of look at it from the other perspective? Now, I think it makes tons of sense. Like GNO was launched to build prediction markets, right? So it would make sense that the community should support something like this to the extent that there is a community. But what is in it for the GNO holders, I guess? How do they benefit?
There's two main ways. The first main way is that the growth of the conditional token platform, like especially if Omen and Polymarket and anyone using it becomes very successful, that even though there's not a clear revenue like opportunity feeding to GNO holders today, if you have a successful protocol, you always have the ability to implement something, right? Like that's how every protocol in DeFi is like working. Like the token holders might not get something today, but if the protocol is very popular, you could always add something, right? And the second thing is to like get those GNO holders who should be interested in prediction markets, should be interested in Omen, to get Omen token in the hands of those interested parties so that they can participate in like the future of Omen and the main prediction market platform running on the Gnosis conditional token framework. In my mind, it makes a lot of sense for GNO holders to give it a shot. If they don't, you basically are saying, oh, let's just let Augur like take over prediction markets. Forget about Gnosis token, conditional tokens, and products built on Gnosis framework. I don't know.
Yeah, the way we like what we propose is basically a more complex like token swap with the GNO holders, not with the Gnosis DAO, aka Gnosis Limited Liable Company. So like the GNO holders will receive Omen tokens. And that's like, I think that's like a very clear incentive for GNO holders like to actually be positive about it, because they will just like receive a valuable token in exchange for like some portion of GNO rewards, some portion of GNO tokens from the Gnosis DAO treasury. And the question is like, do they think that's something they own, right? Right now, I would say probably not, because they don't have anything to say anyway. So
it's like a
it could be like a
governance as well. Like I think we're getting at that as well, like the product synergy, but then also like they have these tokens and they should be distributing them to like groups and users that have mutual interest in their products, and there's some sort of like synergy. But one other thing, I think we should post something on our forum, even if it's just a reference to the art, like say, hey, everyone, like if you're not aware, this has been a discussion that's going on, and, you know, to give feedback, if you're a GNO holder, go here, or if you have any specific attachments or anything regarding this plan, comment. I don't see why it would hurt to not have it in our forum as well.
What was the latest from Claros? I assume, like, I agree with the not, like, maybe not going to Gnosis, and like I don't know if there's a difference between Gnosis DAO, GNO holders, and people, but I feel like Claros was another partner that was also a GNO holder that maybe was in agreement.
Yeah.
So Claros in general, like, would love to see way more collaboration. They, their team has tried to help communicate to us how they thought Gnosis community would interpret something like our proposal. And they, they were pushing for like more of a even ownership and all that kind of stuff, because they didn't think that Gnosis people would be excited about anything less than that. So we've taken their feedback into account, but we can't, like, unless we haven't taken it all the way to what they think. And they, like, I think they'd support what we're asking for, but they've also told us that they don't think that our proposal is attractive to GNO community and team.
Yeah, for basically the references regarding ownership, and then also just the amounts that we would be doing for the liquidity program. Just, yeah, various like factors. I think it's mostly like whether or not Gnosis as a team is interested, and whether there's substantial amounts of GNO holders that would separately be interested. Claros already had like a similar proposal, like with a wider like range of ideas for like what kind of products could fall for under this like scope, that including Omen. And there were some GNO holders that had interest, but ultimately the team wasn't interested in the proposal. So it's pretty likely that there's going to be a similar outcome even with Claros's support.
Yeah, I guess I think probably maybe that's the more, and also a goal is to build relationships with Claros or something. If we're in alignment there, maybe that's like the outcome, even if that doesn't change Gnosis.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, it was just like kind of getting like constructive feedback on the proposal and just seeing where there could be some sort of like, productive, small partnerships regarding the tokens and the governance systems. Yeah, I think the door is open for like future conversations.
Because yeah, my like thinking in response to what Sky explained about it benefiting the conditional token framework and therefore the GNO holders is that unlike something like Uniswap protocol where the liquidity sort of stays in the protocol indefinitely and is kind of sticky, like prediction markets are by nature like short-lived, and therefore like having use of a protocol which is really easy for somebody else to just like fork off and add their own fee or whatever is maybe a bit like unconvincing. Like if I'm a GNO holder, at least in my mind, I don't know if there's something we should do to try to like bridge that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like maybe it's sort of a long shot at this point anyways, but.
Yeah, I think we think of like the way like we can like put the link again in to the proposal and even maybe share the proposal on our forum regardless, just to see what people think about it, because it's also kind of an interesting exploration of like Omen, the product, and like where it is and like what we're thinking about. Like prediction markets is kind of this burgeoning area where there's been growth, but there's still lots of strides and like progress that needs to be made, and like collaboration is kind of key for that. So that's one of the reasons why, we thought it was interesting that Claros first bridged this idea, considering that we're moving towards the Omen Guild and that it would be good to do some sort of small partnerships to kind of reinvigorate the relationship with Genosis. But I think it's good to like look at the product and like where we see like points of weakness or points that we need to like continue to improve on collectively. We should talk about that and consider what we can do.
Yeah, totally. I just had another comment that, like, obviously Gnosis has been around a long time, well capitalized, and they have a very capable and large engineering team. But if you actually like look into the conditional token framework, it was essentially written by one developer who has since left Gnosis. So I do feel like there's maybe actually like sort of a lack of understanding of their own framework from within the company. The conditional token framework's quite a dense piece of code that's not easy to understand. But yeah, I wonder, I can't help but wonder like whether that has something to do with their kind of level of interest as well. But that's just kind of like a technical commentary. Make of it what you will.
Well, yeah, I think their interests and their interests are elsewhere right now. They have other products they're focusing on, and like you said, the main developer or one developer that was working on that particular piece of code is not there anymore and hasn't been for a while, right? So I just don't even think it's like high on the priorities list with the other stuff they have going on with Genosis Safe and MooSwap, right? I think that's the name. I can't remember the name. Anyways, yeah.
CowSwap.
CowSwap. Oh, it just moves. That's what it does.
Coincidence of wants. That's
okay.
That's the yeah.
I don't know. I think I think like I know it seems a little bit confusing, but I don't see why we don't share at least with our community as well, just so they know that we've it's been talked about on our calls and stuff. But it could always be good to get more feedback and see where DXD holders are with it as well.
Yeah, I'm never against that. I just like the goal was to have like one place where the discussion happens. If we like fork it off, there's like
like
it's okay.
Narratives.
Right.
Yeah, that's like, so maybe we can just make it very clear, like, if it's a comment on like the partnership or like something, please go here, but just so it's, people just check our forum. So I just want to make sure they're aware of it and they know where to go if they want to like make a comment, maybe something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So a couple more topics we'll cover real quickly. First one is we've continued to be in touch with the XTI team. XDAI community less so, but we've had a number of discussions on how DXDAO and XDAI community could kind of do something together with farming, and so we've been waiting for farming. We're not sure like if we could do a co-reward thing at this point. That would make more sense for when we have swapper token. But then on the side, like there's a number of, I think just do-it-yourself farming in general is something that's exciting. We'll be doing it ourselves, and other teams and projects have use cases, and there's lots of things that can be done with it. So I think like there's a bunch of different ideas floating around for how it can be used, even if we don't necessarily like go in and create a stake pool with them or a token or some other token in their ecosystem. But we want, like, once we have do-it-yourself farming in live and we've used it like ourselves and people can see that it works, we can share that with way more communities and see what opportunities that brings. It's something that hasn't existed really in this manner across other DEX platforms. So there are teams that are excited about it. So we want to get it in front of them as soon as we can. And then the last thing is this Mesa idea for MVP, which is quite Mesa specific. But Nathan or Martin, I don't know if one of you wanted to just run over the idea high level so people are aware of it and we can get ready for something for like early Mesa MVP ideas and stuff.
Yeah, hi. I can add a few words. We discussed this on Friday already, so because you have not been present, Sky. But I can, Nathan and I did talk today again about this. So there's like a basic idea that we can get some feedback from the community mostly. And with community, I mean, we have to see how far we spread it. But that is that we sell like a basic, we make a token, a normal token sale, and then this token can be redeemed again, for a POAP. And maybe we had an idea today that only people who then, after the sale happened, we maybe make like an open discussion, I don't know where, on a community call or on a special call on Discord, and then we try to collect feedback about the sale to get like an impression how people feel about using the platform. And then they get the POAP as a, if they have the coin, they can redeem it against the POAP. So this is the basic testing we can do even without, I think we can do this even if the contracts not have been fully audited, because there's almost no downside risk. It's not real money involved. But we will make we write this up and then ask for feedback. This is just a short version.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Go ahead now.
Do you want to continue? So,
I think we're done with those kind of the opportunities. So maybe the next you can jump into.
Yeah. So I guess the next kind of section is discussions. The big one is, and I think it's like from fairly recent, is the DXtalk creation. We're currently using Discourse that's kind of owned by DAOstack. And there's been a lot of talk, like I've been saying this for years to DAOstack, to integrate the form aspect or the communications aspect into the actual DAO. And yeah, lately, like we realized like a couple hours ago that people can edit other people's posts, and then it turns out that this was a feature, not a bug. And nothing was hacked, but that just came up. And then this whole idea of, what is DXDAO using for most of our communications, what we should be using in the future. And yeah, I think this is, like, my opinion is that we could probably create, I don't know, a big bounty for something like this. And, you know, this is either, because this course is like fully open source. I don't know if, you know, that could be implemented, I don't know, deployed onto like IPFS or something like that. But yeah, this is something interesting to explore. And I don't know if Augusto is on the call. But yeah, yeah. So to create basically a forum app for DXDAO that could be integrated into the DXVote that Augusto has already created. That's kind of general point to discuss.
Yeah, I have in general no issue with dowtalk as long as it provides like a stable service to us. I think I think I see it more like more pros than cons to actually like use other infrastructure for the DXDAO to be just like more resilient against like one big attack. I think the more the current full-time developers get control, the worse for the DXDAO. So I think the more we like use infrastructure where it can't be captured or is like neutrally owned, not by the DXDAO, is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
So as long as dowtalk is live and actually provides like a stable service to us, I think dowtalk is great.
Yeah, and I've created like, I think someone's saying that it's not backed up. I created like backup files. So yeah, maybe I can share it. Maybe we can upload this to IPFS. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I'm not sure how or who fixed everything with Alchemy, but thank you for whoever took care of that. Maybe it was like a third party, but really, really thank you. It seems like it's working again. But that definitely showed, like, even if we're relying on DAO Stack for better or for worse, like, I mean, we all have our own bandwidth. So I think it is good to somehow, you know, when we're able to work with like active developers who are like, you know, things are like up and working well, why not? And, you know, it's not super broken or anything like that. So why focus on that at this time? Unless like there's like some real problem, like obviously we saw with like Alchemy, there's been real issues. So DXvote makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't know. But if someone comes, like if there's someone comes with a great idea and we just put a proposal out there for a bounty, sure. But I don't think we should spend too much resources or time on like seeking this out. If it comes to us, great. But if not.
Yeah. And there were a lot of, I remember like in hackathons, I think there were like a couple of, like in the ETH hackathons in 2019, there were a couple of, you know, sort of like messaging and forums that are decentralized or on IPFS. I don't think any of them have caught on. And I think IPFS inherently has problems with like storing data. So I don't know if that will work with that. I would like to see though, like if we're using DXvote, I would like to see, I don't know, maybe there could be like an embedded tab of the DXDAO category inside the DApp.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Definitely.
Did anyone had the chance to test out Ethereum.world? It's like a super old school project. I think like basically since Ethereum Genesis, like one of the co-founders of Ethereum is actually working on it. It's basically like a social media platform on top of Ethereum, and they released a
I did visit this page like 2 days ago, but it's just invitation still, and it looks like there's not a lot of ongoing development there. Somehow it looks like, because last information is like last blog entries, I think a year old, like, yeah, something like this.
Oh, that's the Acacia guys.
Acacia, yeah, is in
right.
it,
Yeah. They're in
would be
Berlin,
interesting.
no?
I don't have a clue.
I think they're in Switzerland still. I think he's in Zug, the guy. Has been lately somehow.
I got an email like weeks ago, so I think there is development. Maybe it's just hidden.
It's like permissioned. Yeah, I have to check my mail. You can't use it. You need an invitation. And I filled out something, but I didn't get an invite, I guess. You have to check.
Yeah, I had the chance to play around with it, like in terms of, like it's on Rinkebuy, but I think my overall point is there might be some like bigger team actually delivering, hopefully, a communication platform where it's like completely Ethereum native, and that would be very interesting for us, right? Because then we can just like build like governance modules inside the interface.
I mean, yeah, in theory, yes. In practice, this is going to be very complex, but yeah.
The other thought is we were talking to a guy, the project is called Boring Crypto, working on decentralized Reddit. It might be like worthwhile just to like ping him and say, hey, this is one of our needs if it fits into.
So
it's very noisy.
Is it the guy from Sushi? They had also a guy who developed something for them who was called Boring Crypto. He lives in Japan, I guess.
No, I don't. Different guy, but super smart and is working on related decentralized social media concepts, and goal to move to Web3. We should plan another talk with him. We gave him some feedback that I put in the DX Ventures chat, just describing some of our needs. And we can, now that we've had this conversation, we can mention even forum and voting interface specific requests, and if that's something he's even interested in doing. And maybe there's some room for collaboration there.
It does feel like in the governance tech, having a forum integrated with actual voting would be quite powerful and something that's sort of missing, right?
Well, is anyone using the Alchemy? There's a comments thing at the bottom. I've never used it. I don't know. I guess not, right?
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. Okay.
Discourse is great. I think Discourse as a way of mediating or storing online discussion for DAOs, I think is great. Just how do you get that with the voting aspect? I think actually it would be the boardrooms and the tallies of the world that probably end up doing that integration, that are more serving all of the voters rather than maybe individual governance interfaces doing that.
Yeah.
There is one Polkadot project, Edgeware, and I think they're kind of connected to a different product, which is also very focused on governance. I know they have an Ethereum integration, and that's actually pretty legit as far as I checked it out. It's a full-fledged forum with on-chain components for a variety of blockchains.
Yeah, I did look at Edgeware 2 weeks ago, and I don't know what they are building. They have a community is working somehow, but
forget Edgeware.
Only two people or so, and they're strange.
Something around Commonwealth or Common.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
They use it as, I looked into the discussion. They had discussion how they should move forward and how to pay people, and now they're changing their structure somehow, and but I don't know what they are building, because other Polkadot projects have huge teams and move forward very quickly, and I think Edgeware has been very close connected to Web3 Foundation, because they did the lock drop very early, and Web3 Foundation, I think Web3 Foundation is called, yeah. It's a vehicle of Polka. Dot or the Gavin Wood is involved there. But I don't see there's much traction. But the forum is working somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, I shared a link to like an Ethereum
They use
based something.
There's like open discussion.
Right. It looks awesome, by the way. Like simplified Reddit. The question is like, can we actually like join the game and actually like contribute to that and potentially build out like the holographic consensus model? I don't think we should build things like out of scratch. Maybe like DXvote is absolutely necessary, but if we want to tackle this like communication platform plus governance module built in, we might be smart in like contributing to existing dashboards, right?
Yeah, some kind of partnership could maybe make sense. I don't know. It's definitely probably worth talking to Tally and Boardroom. Boardroom seems like the wrong name for a decentralized governance platform, but I think they are pretty legit that way.
Yeah. Is anyone connected to any of these? Like to Acacia? Or
I know I think we've had a call with the Boardroom guys, and then I know Ruff from Tally pretty well. I actually saw him in Miami. They're like a bit they're pretty focused on the compound like forks. So all of the stuff they support now is compound governor alpha contracts. But yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely interested in building lots of functionality like that.
Yeah. Also, when we talked to Boardroom, we were asking a lot about multi-chain governance because DXDAO was already doing that, and they were not anywhere near that. Like they were figuring out how to just do it on mainnet, and okay, that might work for Compound, but like we're already doing a lot of our stuff on XDAI, right? So they didn't have any way to tie that in. When they like at that point weren't even thinking about it. So their solution was like kind of irrelevant for our organization when we talked to them six months ago. So you can see if they've updated that, but.
all right, should we have like, I don't know, maybe a specific group to talk about these things? Maybe we can follow up on this next week as well. Any connections we have, and yeah, see basically how we move forward on this.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think we should move forward. Like I think we should, besides DXvote, like try to actually fix this forum plus governance built in, right?
I mean, I can talk to Augusto, but I feel like it's possible to have, basically to create like a tab, or I don't know, something that doesn't look terrible from a UX perspective, and you can embed the entire page of like DXDAO from dowtalk. Like you can do that. There's like plugins for that. So.
Are you going to take point on this, Nylon? I think it'd be good to have somebody who's like driving.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, it'd be good to talk to Augusto, to the marketing and the comms, especially the comms team, the Kina and stuff. So.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm dying. We don't have much time. Does anyone have like any other thing they want to discuss real quick?
Maybe just an update on Alchemy. So Alchemy now is working again, mostly, right? So there's still mainnet is missing, but XDAI Alchemy is like functioning and ready to use, I understand. And that maybe mainnet is like, which we use less, but there's some proposals and things that are not showing still. Is that the current scenario?
Right. So the issue was with IPFS hashes being read from the subgraph, so which is a dependency of Alchemy, and we ended up, we have now a Discord channel with the subgraph team. Their initial fix didn't work. Their second fix got us to where we are today, which seems like XDAI is pretty much working. Mainnet, like new proposals seem to be working, but historical stuff is not showing. So, I just pinged the Graph team and DAO Stack again this morning about that. But I mean, I think for all intents and purposes, people should kind of do what they need to do. Like, there's no reason to hold back on anything.
And then just one other announcement or call. The expand DXDAO to Arbitrum 1 signal proposal is up for another 8 hours on XDAI. So it'd be great for everyone to vote. I think for things like this that are signaling the DAO's intentions, it's great to have as many people vote as possible, especially when it will be referenced in marketing material.
Wow, I've just thought about like deploying the DAO in Arbitrum. That's going to be complicated.
We're not using we're using DXvote. It's already been deployed.
Oh, all right. All right. It's not as complicated.
Beta.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's as complicated, but Augusto's doing it, not a team that no longer cares about us.
Yeah. Great, using DXD to stake. Well, it's Augusto, so yes. Nice. All right, any other last thoughts or things that people want to mention? All right. So, Sky, I guess you can